Since I'm gaining ground on all of this broken stuff, I'm getting ready to hoist this up on the workbench, which once I clean it, the workbench that is, and get going on this electric motor for the Camelback drill press series. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's been a while since I've been working on this. Well, if you've been watching, you know what's been going on. Well, anyway, I did some adjusting on this handle after we got it installed. I apologize, I can't remember the viewer. I did mention him, and I think I pinned his comment in one of the previous videos. But he was telling me about how to set this up and that mine was incorrect, and he was right about that. This brass lever is supposed to sit under this rod here. That holds it in place and out of the way, so the other functions of the different handles can work without moving that handle. And then all I have to do, if I decide I want to use the big handle, is just release it like so with this handle, and then I can go ahead, engage the dogs, and start drilling. So that's how that functionality works. They really thought things out, those old mechanical engineers way back when. So I took some Brasso and a Scotch-Brite and a brass wire brush, and I started working over this label plate. Some of you may refer to these as tags or ID tag or something like that. My training in the naval shipyard system, any kind of metal identification tag or plate was called a label plate, so that's the vernacular I use. Anyway, we got a General Electric induction motor, and if you zoom in on the patent dates, March 20th, 1894 to August 13th, 1895, to June 25th, 1901 to March 14th, 1905, which brings it right into the era of that Camelback drill press. So it's an induction motor. It's a type KS42 Alpha 1800 Form CG. I'm not up on my electric motor nomenclature, so I'll have to look all that up. It is a 60 cycle. It is a 2 horsepower, 24 amps. What a brute. 110 volts at 24 amps and 60 cycles. Speed, no load, 1800. Full load, that area is blank. I don't know if that's worn off or just they didn't have a stat for that. So yeah, General Electric Company, Schenectady, New York. Currently, it's locked up. It will not turn. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my can of Aerocroil, courtesy of Kenny and Angie at Abundant Acres Homestead. I'm going to fill up the oil caps on the bearings on both ends, and we'll see if we can't break this loose. At $30 a can, filling up these bearing housings could get expensive. I have no knowledge of the history of this motor. I found it on the floor of a dirt floor shed. It had been sitting there for decades. So I don't know if this thing burned up or locked up, you know, while in service decades ago, and so they just unhooked it and chucked it, or if it just froze up from sitting on that dirt floor all those years. So we'll just tear into this thing and see what we discover. So I took that bearing cap off the top here. There's the same thing on the back there. And there's a screw here. I think I'm going to pull that out, squirt some more Croil in from the top, just to help lube this thing up. See if I can't get it unstuck. It's a couple days later now, and this thing has been leaking Croil all over my, all over the welding table, and it's still locked up. So, time to get the wrenches out. Let's start tearing this thing apart, see if we can unstick it. Well, see if we can loosen off these set screws. And they're regular slotted screwdriver heads. They're not socket head. That came right off. There's no key. I don't know if you can see in there or not. There's no key in the pulley or on the shaft, but I got key stock. All right, I'll get a wrench and start pulling these bolts loose. Well, like a doofus, I wasted a lot of expensive Croil for nothing. These are not bearing housings, they are oil reservoirs. If you look, I don't know if you can see it or not, hiding right there, there's a brass ring that's moving there. That's an oil slinger. It picks up oil from the reservoir, and there's a notch right in here, and it delivers oil onto that shaft, and farther back in here there's either a bearing or a bushing. So that's all this is on both sides, is an oil reservoir. Yeah, there's a better view of that ring right there. There's an oil slinger on both ends of this motor. Well, I learned something. So the expense of the use of the expensive Croil wasn't totally wasted. Knowledge is expensive. I love the stories old machines tell you about their past life. In this case, somebody's had this apart before. You can see barely, probably, right along here. Those are hammer marks or chisel marks where somebody's been beating on this end bell trying to get this off before, and I believe this is the end where the brushes reside. So, yeah, and of course, it's still stuck together. I'm still working on it. I'm going to try what my predecessors did, although I'm going to be careful. This is cast iron. I don't want to shatter it. We'll just see how it goes. Well, if it works, is it wrong? Sure didn't take long to trash my clean workbench. Yep, time to stop and clean it again. That motor is stuck solid. That's going to take some time, I fear. My horizontal pole didn't, the concept is good, but it didn't work out. I couldn't get that thing to budge. Got another idea of suspending it from the beam overhead about 1 inch off the floor, and then I can work the stator housing with a brass punch and a hammer all the way around and see if I can separate it that way. No type of hammering is optimal, but as stuck as this motor is, we'll see what happens. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I'm out $30. Well, I could probably get quite a bit of that back in scrap value, but I ain't giving up yet. I'm just getting started on this motor, so we'll see how it goes. Welcome, new subscribers. Last time I looked, I think I'm up to 951, so I got 49 to go to break the magic 1,000 mark. Hey, thank you for that. Existing subscribers, as always, thanks for sticking around. And this is probably one of the toughest parts of this drill press project, this electric motor. Like I say, I'm not giving up on it yet, but at the same time, I'm on the hunt for something similar that's in working condition that may just need some light refurb. This looks like it's turning into a major overhaul, but we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody, and joining me on this Camelback Drill Press Odyssey. I'm hoping you're enjoying the series, judging by the views the videos are getting. A lot of you are. So with that, I'm going to say bye for now. Hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you soon on the next one. Later, everybody.